So here's our weekly update on the hummingbirds. And this excites me. Why? Because there's been so many coming to my ice cream containers. I think after the long getaway they did early in the year, that a lot of them, I believe, did not come back, they're coming back. They're starting to find their ice cream containers as they come over the hill. I see them zip to them so quickly, and it makes me very excited because I thought my original hummingbirds that normally winter here, I thought they weren't coming back. But it looks like they're here, and hopefully they'll stay even in the spring. But time will tell. We've had a very interesting week. Not like usual, though we've had a lot of birds, and this is midday, so we don't get as many birds during the day. We have been warm and dry. Look at the sky. We'll talk about that in a few moments. Drier than usual. And that's why a lot of people in Southern California here that I know had their electricity shut off for days. They weren't happy, but due to winds, and you can see a little breeze here, so we're fine. We didn't lose our electricity. But other people in hills around in areas where they could have fires, yes, their electricity has been shut off with no warning, mind you, at least the ones I've talked to. Just bam, lights off. And that means day and night. They can't take any chances because a little spark, a little wind, and a cord come down off of a pole, and it can be a problem. So that has been going on, but it's been more than that. We have been really dry, and the hummingbirds have been showing it, and boy, can I feel it. Oh, I've had chapped lips and dry skin. Our humidity went in a matter of 3 days from 69% to 7%. So let me tell you something. What does that bring? You'll see in a few moments. The hummingbirds, though, need to drink all day. They feed very heavily in the morning and then very heavily before the sun goes down, because during the day, even in the dry weather, they can find a lot of flowers because we've been about 85 degrees during the day, and then at night we get into the 50s. So there's plenty of flowers, not just the ones I'm growing here, but all through the hills. There's been a lot of mustard still coming up because, well, even with weed abatement, the hills have bursted back into flowers because our weather's been okay. And oh, it just touches my heart when I see them come in to not just the ice cream containers, but the peanut butter cups and different things I put out. But going back to the weather and going back to what's growing, we do have a lot of flowers around and citrus trees and different things that are blooming. So they can feed and forage in the gardens all day, looking for insects, pollen, and nectar. See the peanut butter cup on the bottom? I can put those in coffee cups. But what is happening now is there's other critters out there that are not finding everything that they want. Now, I keep a lot of feeders around my deck. They're everywhere, and they're in the garden as well. So they have feeders spread out. See, that's where the big cluster is by my window over there. So this way there's less quarreling, and I don't like the swarms. When you have swarms of hummingbirds, it kind of makes them nervous, makes me nervous. So I love when they can spread their wings and not have to be swarming, though they all get along good here. And as you can see, I can have my feeders full of hummingbirds and there's no fighting. But what has been going on, as I was saying, there's other critters that are not quite finding as much as they'd like. And you'll see pretty soon I started having a bee issue. That was, thank goodness, for only one day. The bees started to find the feeders. There'd be one here and one there. And before I knew it, there was 10, 20, 30 of them. And well, let's put it this way. Hummingbirds and bees really don't mix that well because they can sting them. There's the bees. And the hummingbirds did not want to come in. You'll see a hummingbird will come in, and the bees will fly around, and they don't want to take any chances, and whoop, they'll zip off. Or they'll try to sneak a drink as the bees are actually chasing them off. So what did I have to do? How do you get rid of bees? Ants are easy, but bees are tougher. I had to switch the feeders out. And Gary went on control, looking around to make sure, well, the bees were not around, because if they were there, the feeders had to be brought back in. And as you can see, we have to open up each one because if the hole is big enough, they'll crawl inside. And how do I know that? I got stung. Without looking, I brought a feeder in, opened it up in the sink, and, well, it got me, and I didn't see it. So that was completely my fault. But anyways, once I swap the feeders out, the hummingbirds can come back and they can feed because, well, the bees can't get in. The slit is much smaller, and though you know I take some of the Walmart ones and make the holes bigger because the hummingbirds do actually enjoy a larger hole. But when the bees come, we don't have a choice. So I have to make sure we have hummingbird feeders that can't allow the bees in. And we did have both wasps and bees. If the holes are too big, like I said, they can reach down. But see, if you look here, they can't reach through. And that's the way it works. Now, see, that one's got larger holes. The bees can get in there. But once the bees come and check around and see that they can't get in, they don't stay that long. I mean, they're wasting their energy. So then you can swap back and put the other ones back, which I did. And then Gary went through and made sure all the trees had water because, like I said, being dry like that, we could lose some trees or bushes if we're not careful. So everything is watched during this very dry weather, which is very important to do. We've had another visitor show up, and you'll see that in a moment as well. So now the hummingbirds are happy. The bees have gone on to their own merry way. Yeah, the occasional one will come by. But thank goodness, the big swarms of bees are gone. They can't get into my ice cream containers because I've made very small holes on that, or my peanut butter cups. And since I made those, I kept the holes small. But then all of a sudden, Zoe, our little Yorkie, was barking at something. And we went out there, and what was it? A praying mantis. Now, I don't believe this praying mantis is big enough to do any harm, but we showed her that it was being removed off the rail and it was going to go into the garden. We did not let her snap at it. Just let her smell it since she found it, and Gary took it off to go back to the garden. So that's it for this week. The hummingbirds are here. I'm going through about 3 gallons a day. And see the feeders here that I made? These are ice cream containers. The hole is small. So though the bees can land on top, they can't reach it. As long as the bees can't reach the nectar, they won't stay around. So keep that in mind. Sometimes you may need another set of hummingbird feeders that are really good. I use the ones from Walmart because they cannot reach it. Look at the sky. Talk about weather conditions and, well, the air quality. Our air quality's been not that good, not with that orange sky. So this is why we've made sure that everybody's got good fresh food out there. The bees will have to find something else. They can go into the fountains I've got, and we do occasionally put a tray out for them, but not near the hummingbirds, because if a hummingbird gets stung, that will be the end of hummingbirds. You don't want the bees and the hummingbirds together. Try to separate them as much as possible. So that's what's going on here. Everybody's happy now. Things have been readjusted. So bees are gone. The regular hummingbird feeders are back outside. And now we're just enjoying the rest of the week. And hopefully our weather will straighten out and we'll get better air quality and not so dry. With that, have a wonderful day. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye.